My husband has been working very hard recently. I thought we were entering the second spring of our marriage. But then I heard the shareholders teasing him. So, when are you going to make a move on the little secretary? Samuel laughed casually. I've been practicing recently. Not bad. I'm still in good shape. I'm more than enough to serve a girl in her early 20s. In the video, the men burst into laughter. My heart gradually turned cold. But later, he desperately stood in front of me. It's my fault. Will you come home with me? Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. He wants to serve a girl in her early 20s. Not me. I looked deeply at my own outline in the mirror. Clearly, there wasn't a single wrinkle on my face. However, after being married to Samuel for 4 years, he had already lost his sense of freshness towards me. When I heard Samuel say those words, I maintained my dignity and didn't push open that door to embarrass myself. But I still wanted to know what kind of person Samuel was infatuated with. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I arrived at his company. The sun was shining just right. The glass reflected the dazzling golden sun, making the tiny hairs on the girl's face clearly visible. When I saw it, Samuel was staring at her in a trance. His eyes and eyebrows were gentle. Madam, the elderly secretary at the door was a bit embarrassed. Her words woke up the 2 people in the office. The girl stood up with a swish, looking very proper. Madam, her voice was very soft. Secretly and restlessly, she stole a glance at me. Samuel frowned. Why are you here? I gently placed the hotel keycard in my hand on his desk. You forgot to take this. Samuel's pupils slightly shrank, and he calmly clasped the keycard in his palm. I see. You can go back first. I have a meeting later. When I was about to go out, I heard the girl's delicate and weak voice. Mr. Samuel, is this your wife? The man's voice was lowered. It's okay. She doesn't come here often. During the cold spell of the late spring, I waited outside the hotel all night. He didn't come. When the dawn was breaking, I finally figured it out. Yes, in a place whose address I knew. How could he let the person he cherished the most take any risk? I tossed and turned back home from the hotel. Samuel was tying his tie. When I entered the door, his movement paused, and his eyes swept towards me. Did you go and check? You're being suspicious and investigating my whereabouts. Are you sure this time that it's all your imagination? He sneered. You stayed outside all night. Right. I really hope this can teach you a lesson this time. Samuel passed by me. I have an appointment tonight and won't be coming back. He turned his head and smiled enigmatically. If you don't believe it, you can stay outside for another night. The door closed. The cold air rushed against each other. The cold current was like a hurricane blowing to the bottom of my heart. It spread to all my limbs and bones, making me shiver with cold. On my phone, the friend I added 2 months ago updated her status. I'm going to be the president's female companion at the dinner party tonight. Hee. I didn't attend this dinner party after all. I had a fever. It was 39 degrees Celsius. My throat hurt so much as if I had swallowed a blade, and I couldn't say a word. At midnight, the house was pitch black. There was no water on the bedside table. I went to find water by myself. Feeling dizzy, I opened the refrigerator and stared blankly at the milk inside. When we just got married, Samuel learned about my insomnia problem. He heard that milk helps with sleep, so he regularly brought fresh milk back every day. He watched me drink it, until later, when his business succeeded and we had money. He hired someone to replace the milk with the freshest ones every week. At that time, he held me and said, Wife, I will definitely give you the best life in the future. Now, our life has gradually improved, but that Samuel is gone. I was so drowsy from the fever, I couldn't even wait for the hot water to cool down completely. When I poured it into my mouth, my throat felt burning. The pain made my tears flow. Before falling asleep, it seemed that I saw my friend update her status. The young president is full of sexual tension. He sent me home today. In the attached picture, it was the side profile of the man I had been with for many years. He was on her left side, with his hands on the steering wheel, looking ahead. They really looked like a perfect match. Before losing consciousness, I suddenly thought, once upon a time, someone also said that about me and Samuel. What a well-matched couple. When I woke up again, it was already noon the next day. There was not a single message on my phone. Instead, I scrolled and saw the status my friend updated in the morning. It turns out that a man with an alpha male body can really be so amazing. It's so exciting. Hee. My mind went blank. The phone spun in my hand, and my vision seemed to be out of focus. So amazing. I was dazed. I stared blankly and even forgot to cry. I thought Samuel would give me an explanation. I waited and waited, but until it spread throughout our social circle that Mr. Samuel had a new understanding and considerate girl by his side. He held her in his palm and cherished her in his heart. My best friend Kelly called me. She asked bluntly, "Did Samuel cheat again?" Her directness left me with no room to maneuver. My throat was dry and hoarse, and I couldn't say half a word. It seemed that she sensed something. Kelly's tone softened. "Hannah, I saw them at a business gathering. All the prominent people in City H were there. Samuel clearly knew that I would be there, but he still had an ambiguous behavior while holding that woman. Have you ever thought about the reason?" The reason? What could it be? It was nothing more than that Samuel didn't care about my reaction. He didn't even care that I might divorce him because of this. Kelly was silent for a long time. "Do you still want to stay with such a Samuel?" Red blood droplets fell on the white carpet little by little. My voice was very soft. "Can you come to me first? I seem to have some problems." "Don't change the subject." "What?" Kelly exclaimed. "What's wrong with you? Where are you now? Are you at home?" "I'll come right away." When I opened my eyes again, I was already in the hospital. Kelly was sitting beside me, taking a deep breath. "I was so scared when I saw you fainted on the ground. I thought you had a miscarriage while being pregnant." "Hannah, I'm telling you, you can't do those plots from idle dramas, torturing yourself to punish the scumbag. He's already cheated. Do you think he'll regret it just because you're not feeling well?" "Rubbish." I was about to say something, but Kelly's expression was distorted. I coughed dryly. "Can you pour me some water?" Kelly came to her senses and immediately opened the bottle of mineral water in her hand. Behind her, a man's voice came. "She just got her fever down. She has a lung inflammation. It's better to give her warm water." Kelly immediately put down the water. "Then I'll go and get her some warm water." Before leaving, she secretly poked my hand. "It's Martin, the one you had a crush on in college. I didn't expect him to be a doctor here. His career prospects are quite good." In the ward, only we two were left. The man's gaze fell on me, his nice eyebrows slightly furrowed. "When the virus is raging, you should have protected your lungs well instead of catching a cold and torturing your body." This tone, it was as if a tutor had possessed him. The dull pain spreading in my heart quickly dissipated, and I nodded in a daze. "Yes." Kelly went to get the water and dawdled for almost 20 minutes. Then she shakily handed me that precious cup of warm water. "Drink it." I cooled it by blowing on it myself. After drinking a cup of warm water, I finally became much more sober. "I don't know when Martin left." Kelly gritted her teeth. "You still haven't answered my question." "What question?" "Samuel is already like this. Do you still want to be with him?" She opened her phone. In the video, Samuel's hand was placed on the girl's waist. Standing beside them was a familiar shareholder, with an ambiguous look in his eyes. He said, "There's a seafood restaurant in the north of the city. The food there is good, especially the oysters. Mr. Samuel can eat more of them when he has time." Samuel's hand slid from the bottom up to her back. Young girls always make people feel a lot of pressure. The people around started to laugh. The girl blushed. "Mr. Samuel, what are you guys talking about?" Samuel's palm was placed on the back of her neck again, swirling in an ambiguous way. "Don't pay attention to him. He's not serious." I averted my eyes. My throat was dry and hoarse, and I had to struggle to make a sound. "Kelly, help me find a lawyer." I stayed in the hospital for 4 days. On the day I was discharged from the hospital, I got into Martin's car. I felt a bit embarrassed. Kelly sat in the back seat, sending me messages non-stop with her fingers. "Why are you looking so gloomy? The most famous divorce lawyer in City H is Dr. Martin's elder sister. We definitely need to make use of this connection so that she will take the case seriously." Martin turned his head and looked at me. "What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?" I subconsciously hid my phone. "No." The man retracted his gaze. "Don't worry. My sister specializes in handling female cases. She's very gentle and won't scare you." Kelly smiled and leaned forward. "She's a bit timid. She's been emotionally abused by her husband all these years. It would be better if she could get away from that scumbag as soon as possible." Martin paused. "Yeah, Hannah was still a very lively person in college." Kelly stopped smiling. The car fell silent all of a sudden. My phone suddenly rang. A deep male voice came from the other end of the phone. "Mom just called me. She hasn't been feeling well recently. If you have time, go and keep her company. That's what he said. But ever since I got married to Samuel, to let him focus on his career, every time there was something in his family, I would go. I was always available whenever he called. Kelly's words just now rang in my head. I clenched my fists. Samuel, I'm not available. The man was silent for a while. It seemed that he didn't expect my answer. I immediately told him, don't ask me to deal with such things in the future. Let's get a divorce. After saying that, I quickly hung up the phone. On the first floor of the law firm, at the end of the corridor stood a man with a gloomy side profile. The girl walked out of the office, her face slightly red. I've finished the consultation. Mr. Samuel, I trouble you today. She held his suit jacket in both hands and looked extremely cute. The two of them turned around. Suddenly, they met my eyes. Kelly, damn it. What a small world. Samuel first looked at Kelly, and then his gaze fell on Martin. He squinted his eyes slightly. You're not available because you're accompanying a strange man. Kelly's face darkened. Samuel, do you know how to speak? What are you doing here? Accompanying a strange woman. The girl beside her turned pale. I'm Mr. Samuel's secretary. We came here to handle some business together. Did you misunderstand us? Kelly sneered. You were almost making out outside. What misunderstanding? Samuel stood in front of her, his eyes and eyebrows stern. Kelly, I advise you to watch your words. When Kelly was about to speak again, I grabbed her hand. My gaze swept over his eyes and eyebrows. Our business doesn't need to involve other people. Samuel, I want to divorce you. He was stunned for a moment. Suddenly, he laughed. Hannah, if I take this seriously, have you ever thought about the subsequent troubles? He raised his eyebrows. Huh, I repeated. I want to divorce you. Samuel smiled. Okay. This is just a law firm. Then let's draw up the agreement here. I nodded. Okay. When we went upstairs, I heard the girl's apologetic voice. Mr. Samuel, what should we do? Is the madam doing this because of me? Samuel's voice was cold. Don't worry about her. Let her act until the end. When we entered the room, Lucy seemed very surprised. Martin told me that you came alone to discuss the divorce matters. The man also came. Should we directly draw up the agreement? The man behind me suddenly darkened his face. His gaze was fixed on me. You made an appointment for a divorce. No one in the office responded to his words. Samuel restrained himself. Hannah, it doesn't look good to make a scene like this. He said each word slowly. His tone was calm, but there was a warning in his words that I could understand. The girl didn't follow us in. She bit her lip at the door. Mr. Samuel, you just said that Auntie isn't feeling well. With her delicate and weak words, it seemed to instantly bring Samuel back to his senses. He frowned, looking a bit impatient. Hannah, I don't have time to play these boring games with you. If you really want a divorce, one day is enough. If you insist on bringing trouble upon yourself, then you can sign the divorce agreement and send it to me. After saying that, he grabbed the girl waiting at the door. He walked out with big strides. Lawyer Daisy was slightly surprised, and then she quickly smiled at me. So that's how it is. Then shall I do the property assessment for you first? My clenched hand relaxed slightly. Okay. After everything was settled, Kelly stopped Martin. Let's have a meal together. Dr. Martin, Hannah said she's really grateful to you. His dark eyes fell on my face. I clenched the corner of my clothes. Dr. Martin, do you have time? I had troubled Martin too much. I couldn't feel at ease about it. Martin's delicate eyebrows slightly curved. I have time. At the dining table, Kelly couldn't help but complain. Ever since you got together, Samuel has been trying to tame you. You think he's high and mighty now with a successful career. But don't forget that he was the one who chased you in college. He was a poor guy back then. Besides, if it weren't for him, maybe you would have already been with Martin. Seeing my expression, she fell silent. Martin's gaze was still on the menu and he didn't look up. His slender fingers slid across it. With me what? Why don't you continue? My head went blank. I could only use my eyes to beg Kelly to stop talking. Although it had been a long time, saying such things in front of the person involved, it would only make me feel extremely embarrassed when I was in the most awkward situation. Fortunately, Kelly closed her mouth. In the store, the gentle breeze gently brushed through Martin's hair. His expression was extremely natural. Has Hannah's taste still not changed? I was stunned. Then I saw his fair fingers tapping on the screen. Spicy boiled fish, diced chicken with chili peppers, Spicy duck heads. They were all the dishes I loved to eat. Dr. Martin. He raised his head, his expression gentle. What's wrong? Don't you like these anymore? Kelly went to the restroom. Martin spoke up. Actually, you've always been a very nice person. I was taken aback. Martin smiled. Back in school, a lot of people praised you in private. Really? He nodded. He softly imitated the compliments my classmates had given me. Somehow, the tension in my heart gradually dissipated. He suddenly said, "We all think it's a great pity that you gave up medicine and devoted yourself to the family." Something spread out with a sour and astringent feeling. This was also the reason why I hadn't left Samuel. I had once thought, if I suddenly got a divorce and was all alone, where should I go? And what should I do? He took a sip of lemonade. With a natural expression. There's still a position for an intern nurse in my department. I was shocked. I caught a glimpse of him calmly saying the words that I didn't even dare to guess. Hannah, do you want to give it a try? Could I really do it? It was already evening after we finished the meal. The sky was getting slightly dark. The house was quiet. The lights hadn't been turned on yet. And a cold voice of a man came from the sofa. Did you have a great time with another man? I was so startled that I trembled. In a panic, the printed agreement fell all over the floor. He stood up, took steps to pick it up. The lights were turned on brightly. He quickly read through it and sneered with his cheeks clenched. The property assessment is all done. Hannah, you really have some tricks up your sleeve. Instinctively, the back of my head started to tingle from the middle, and I took half a step back. Samuel, we agreed to get a divorce. He was angry. Have I mistreated you? I was stunned. I didn't understand where Samuel got such a question from. He squinted his eyes. What kind of tricks are you playing? Trying to mess with my mind. I squatted down and carefully picked up the agreement and the assessment report one by one. I've signed it. Samuel's face darkened, but I seriously handed the agreement to him. Since you like that girl, get a divorce from me quickly. Don't let everyone know about it and make her the mistress. Sign it. Mr. Samuel. He stared at me. He didn't take it even until I felt uncomfortable all over. If you mind, I'll be more discreet in the future. He paused. I'll try my best not to let anyone know. I was somewhat shocked. It was rare for Samuel to explain. She's too young. Even if it's over, it can't end immediately. I simply put the agreement on the shoe cabinet. It's not about breaking up with her. It's about us breaking up. The air seemed to freeze. Under the pressure, I went into the room to pack my things. There was a sound of something being shattered in the hallway. Then, Samuel rushed in like a gust of wind and clamped my shoulders with both hands. Hannah, you want to break up with me? Is it because of that man? You're having an affair. Did you get my consent? I was startled by him. Samuel had red eyes. He lit a cigarette after his chest heaved and stared at me with a hoarse voice. I advise you to calm down. No matter how good that man outside is, those who adore you are just attracted by the novelty for a while. If you leave me, you'll be a divorced woman. Do you have the confidence to make a man outside marry a divorced woman? I had to admit, I was stunned by his questions. It took me a long time to react. What does all this have to do with you? His face darkened, but I really didn't mean to retort him. I was asking a genuine question. After the divorce was finalized, we would be two completely unrelated individuals. Whether I was doing well or not had nothing to do with him. Right. He flicked off the cigarette butt. Grabbed my hand. Hannah, I'm a man. White rice is delicious. But you can't make me eat it every day. Normal people would have some steamed buns or noodles. Right. I can give you everything except loyalty. People can't be greedy. Do you understand? My gaze fell on his hand. Let go of me. He was stunned. I said, Samuel, I find you disgusting. He angrily let go of my hand. What kind of magic potion did that strange man pour into you? He kicked the chair aside. Even if you're with him, do you think he hasn't slept with other women? I composed myself. Martin isn't a strange man. He's my college classmate and now a noble person who is helping me. I've never attacked the people around you. So please don't insult my friend either. He was stunned for several seconds. It was as if he was angrily amused. Your friend? What kind of friend are you making as a married woman? I looked at him. Suddenly, I didn't understand the meaning of these years of marriage. How could I have only discovered that he was such a self-centered person when he had an affair? I turned around and packed my things. The wheels rolled across the floor. Sign the agreement. I don't want to go through the judicial process with you. It will be bad for both of us if we fall out completely. The moment I stepped out of the door, the sound of glass shattering piece by piece came from the living room. If you go out, don't come back. When the elevator descended to the first floor, my heart seemed to finally settle down. It was already dark, but something in my heart was clearing up. Kelly came up to me. Did that bastard do anything to you? She looked me up and down. For this kind of thing, you should have let me go up. You made Dr. Martin and me worry about you downstairs for a long time. Dr. Martin. My gaze landed behind Kelly. The black car flashed its headlights at me. I stammered. Didn't you ask Dr. Martin to leave first? The man got out of the car. He took the 2 suitcases I was dragging in my hands. When moving, we can't let a girl do it by herself. I felt embarrassed. I could only follow and get into the car. I temporarily stayed at Kelly's house. Dr. Martin put down the suitcases. His expression gentle. You should have a good rest first. Regarding the internship, wait for my call. After he left, Kelly winked at me. Hannah, can't you see? Martin clearly still has feelings for you. I lowered my eyes. Don't say that again in the future. A person as bright as the moon in the sky shouldn't be involved with someone like me. That's not repaying kindness. That's biting the hand that feeds you. In the hospital, the sound of going through medical records was extremely clear. All the staff were busily doing their own things in an orderly manner. Someone whispered, "She doesn't look like a young girl. She can still get an internship in our hospital. She must have some connections." Many eyes fell on me. My cheeks felt hot and swollen. Steady footsteps came from behind. Martin had a smile on his face and placed the milk tea in his hand on the nurse's station. "Vivian, are you busy? Hannah is my classmate. Please take care of her. Vivian, this is milk tea for everyone. Go and get it." The whispering voices stopped. The head nurse even looked at me in surprise. She's Dr. Martin's classmate. No wonder she can come to our hospital. She must be a top student. The warm milk tea was stuffed into my arms. You just recovered from your illness. Don't drink cold drinks. Martin didn't say any extra words. I held the warm cup. I moved my fingers. It clearly said on it, half sugar, my usual taste. After Martin left, my colleagues gathered around. Hannah, you know Dr. Martin. He's the most mysterious doctor in our department. I wonder if he ever had a girlfriend in college. I can't tell. Dr. Martin would actually help an old classmate. He used to be the one who kept the greatest distance from everyone. The girls' attitudes were completely different from before. The head nurse coughed a few times, and then everyone dispersed. I was lost in thought in the direction of the doctor's office. Martin. He was really a very nice person. On the first day after work, Kelly insisted on celebrating for me. She said this was a new beginning after leaving the abyss. The pot with red oil at the bottom emitted curling steam. Martin was already sitting opposite, wearing a dust-proof apron over his white shirt. "Hello, new colleague. Good evening after work." It was clearly a very ordinary sentence, but Martin's tone was teasing. Yet I couldn't help but have my eyes redden in the mist. The wine glasses clinked, and Kelly cheered. "Hannah, happy new beginning." The phone rang abruptly at this moment. To hide my red eyes, I quickly answered it. A drunken voice of a man came from the phone. "Hannah, where are you?" I didn't say anything. Samuel continued. "The milk is about to expire. Do you still want to renew the subscription?" I was stunned, but I instantly understood what he meant. He still remembered my insomnia problem. But after I moved out, I also thought I would lie awake all night because of the divorce. In fact, I had a good night's sleep. It seemed that I hadn't slept so peacefully for a long time. I paused. "Cancel it. In the future, don't ask me about it again." A deep breathing sound came from the phone. "What else do you want?" "To make it known to everyone, I've said that the Mrs. Wen is only you." In front of me, someone handed me a plate full of cooked meat. Martin's gaze was focused. "The meat is ready. Eat it quickly." On the phone, the man suddenly became agitated. "It's so late, and you're still outside with another man." I took a deep breath. "I'm very busy. I hope the next time you contact me, you've signed the agreement." I hung up the phone, but my heart was already in a mess. I hadn't even finished a glass of wine. My phone rang again. "Samuel sent the latest message. I saw that man accompanying you when you moved out the other day." I was stunned, but I couldn't figure out what Samuel meant by sending this message. I simply blocked him as a friend. I put down the phone and raised my glass with Kelly. I couldn't hold my liquor well. I was already dizzy before we finished the meal. Somehow, Kelly stuffed me into the back seat of the car. Then, Martin sat beside me. Maybe everyone had drunk a lot of wine. Beside me, I clearly felt the heat emanating from his body temperature. He leaned against the backrest, and it seemed like he was muttering. My face turned red, but I always kept a proper distance from Martin. When we got home, the drunkenness on Kelly's face completely disappeared. Hannah, why don't you consider Dr. Martin? Didn't you say in school that he was your favorite type? My head went blank with a buzzing sound. I'm still not divorced. Moreover, even if I got a divorce, I still wasn't worthy of someone like him. Suddenly, the words he said in a low voice rang in my head. Hannah, you're very good. Don't care about other people's gazes. You are really very good. Although the beginning of the work was a bit difficult, fortunately, I still had the knowledge I had learned in my bones. After sorting it out, I made an appointment with lawyer Daisy after work. Samuel refused to sign. The lawyer's suggestion was to organize all kinds of evidence and hold a court session through legal litigation. Before confirming, lawyer Daisy asked me, "Are you really sure you want a divorce?" "I'm sure." The message was sent to Samuel's phone. Soon, I saw his figure downstairs at Kelly's place. He had a sullen face and walked up to me in a few steps. "Hannah, you've become capable." I stepped back, but he quickly caught up. He smelled of alcohol. "Why do you have to get a divorce? Is it because of him? Or is it because I haven't been intimate with you?" As if he was provoked, he suddenly slammed me against the wall. His lips mixed with the smell of alcohol came down towards me. In the extremely dark corner of the community, I desperately struggled and pushed his body away. Slap! With the crisp sound, the nearby voice-activated light turned on. Samuel was stunned. He pressed his slapped face with his thumb, and his gaze gradually turned into an expression I couldn't understand. "After hitting me, have you calmed down?" There was a layer of mist in front of my eyes. Suddenly, someone ran from behind, grabbed my wrist, and stood in front of me. "Mr. Samuel, Hannah is going through the divorce process with you." From my perspective, I saw Samuel's expression suddenly turn cold. "It's a matter between husband and wife. Outsiders had better not interfere." Dr. Martin's words were gentle yet firm. "Hannah has already decided to divorce you." His back blocked me tightly. "As a friend, I won't just stand by and watch you hurt her." Samuel sneered. "Friend, do you really think others can't see your thoughts?" Martin in front of me was silent for a moment. "Yes, after you two get divorced, I will pursue Hannah. But at that time, it will have nothing to do with Mr. Samuel." Before he could finish his words, there was a dull sound of a fist hitting the face. I exclaimed, but the two men were already fighting in front of me. Each punch landed on the flesh. Neither of them was willing to show weakness. It ended up in the police station, in the mediation room. Both of their faces were bruised. Martin said softly, "Don't be afraid. It will be resolved." I clenched my fists. Samuel started the fight first. "Officer, I can testify." His face darkened. He slapped the table with a bang. "Hannah, don't forget who your husband is." Sweat broke out in my palms. Under the pressure, I told him, "After the court session, he won't be anymore." Samuel was stunned. A trace of confusion and helplessness flashed in his eyes. At that moment, I even suspected that there was something wrong with my eyes. When I walked out of the police station, I hesitated in my steps. "Dr. Martin, thank you." He stopped in his tracks. Even with the injuries, it was hard to hide the elegance of his face. "Why are you thanking me again?" I felt embarrassed, but I had to say, "Thank you for standing up for me, and even for sacrificing your own reputation." Martin frowned. His eyes looked deeply into mine. "Hannah, I'm not the kind of person who would drag myself into trouble just to save someone." I was stunned. Then I saw his lips moving. "I really plan to pursue you after you get divorced. There's nothing to doubt about that. You're better than you think. You're really a perfect person." I fled in a hurry. Fortunately, the court session was approaching. I didn't have time to think about other things. My phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. On the phone, a man's voice was hoarse. "Hannah, let's have a talk." I didn't say anything. The sound of a lighter came from the phone. The man's voice trembled slightly. "We've been together for many years. I thought it was just boredom caused by being too used to each other. But, when I saw you leaving with him, I realized that I really couldn't accept it. Yesterday, I didn't sleep all night. I thought, what if you came back? Wife, I know I was wrong. Break up with him." And I'll also break up with the woman outside. Let's start over and have a child. Okay. In the future, we'll be a family of 3. I suddenly found it ridiculous. Child. Don't we already have one? What? Samuel's voice rose. Even through the phone, I could hear his rapid breathing. Hannah. Are you pregnant? Where are you now? It was very noisy on the other end, as if he was running outside. But he suddenly stopped. Samuel's voice was tentative. The child. Is it his or mine? My head went blank with a buzzing sound. My whole body trembled with humiliation. I took a few deep breaths before gritting my teeth and telling him, "It's yours." The woman herself said so. He was stunned. I asked, "The pregnancy test report of your secretary has already been posted in the circle. Do you want me to forward it to you?" There was a long silence on the phone. I simply hung up. This absurd marriage was really disgusting. The day of the court session arrived. Samuel sat opposite me, his gaze falling on me. He accepted all the property division requests put forward by my side. After the final decision was made, he stopped me at the door. His gaze was complicated. If I hadn't made you wait outside that day, would we not have come to this? Yes. We would still end up like this. He seemed confused. I turned around and got into the car with Kelly. Samuel himself had forgotten. In college, the reason we were together was that he promised with his own mouth that he would never change his heart. Young love was beautiful, but a promise was only true at the moment it was made. The divided property was not a small amount, but I was still working hard as a nurse in the second hospital. Kelly was right. Over the years, I had been suppressed by Samuel, which made me lack confidence and feel inferior. Money couldn't make up for the gap between me and society over these years. After fully devoting myself to work, I was occasionally praised by the head nurse and patients. The rhythm of life gradually accelerated. The department had recently admitted several elderly people. They had chest discomfort but were particularly interested in finance and economics. Old fellow, have you heard? The stocks of the Samuel family have limit down for 2 consecutive days. The other one sighed. I don't know how many more people will jump off buildings. I live in the same community as the mother of the CEO of the Samuel family. You don't know. Her health was already not good. This time, even the daughter-in-law who used to come often didn't show up. I'm afraid they can't even take care of themselves. I paused in my actions. I smiled with my curved eyebrows. Let's take your temperature first today, and I'll register it for you later. Hey, this young girl looks a bit like that daughter-in-law. Come on. Hannah is the most beautiful nurse in the department. People with good fortune won't enter a family without it. The 2 elderly people laughed heartily. After laughing, they continued to cough. Life was full of a sense of reality. Kelly was very happy. After drinking, she hugged me tightly. Hannah, you finally changed back. Somehow, the 2 of us women hugged each other and cried our hearts out because of this sentence. My eyes were swollen the next day. There was an extra bottle of ice water at the nurse's station. Underneath it, there was a piece of paper. Apply it. It will get better faster. With the flamboyant handwriting. I didn't need to think hard to know who the owner was. A nurse whispered to me quietly. Hannah, Dr. Martin really cares about you. I became nervous instantly, but I still managed to force a smile. Yeah, he's an old classmate. My family asked him to take extra care of me. My colleague clearly didn't believe it. She smiled ambiguously but didn't expose me. Fortunately, Martin seemed to understand my unease. He didn't show too much closeness to me in the hospital. Just when I thought this matter was over, during Kelly's team building activity, she drank too much. She grabbed me and asked, "Why don't you consider Martin?" I stammered and explained a lot. I don't know if that girl listened or not. She held my hand and said, "Even if you don't like him, you can still give it a try." I asked someone about Martin's love experience. It's as clean as a blank sheet of paper. Hannah, don't put so many shackles on yourself. What men can do, why can't we do it? I wanted to say more, but she had already fallen onto the sofa, sleeping crookedly. In the dead of night, Kelly's words kept ringing in my head. I tossed and turned. My phone suddenly rang. "Can't you sleep?" It was Martin. As if sensing something, I quickly opened the curtain. Downstairs, the car lights were flashing. I ran downstairs. Martin's face turned red. I couldn't sleep either. Somehow, I just drove around and ended up here. He didn't say much, as if to soothe me. He instead told some interesting stories about his family. Spring was in the air, and flowers were blooming. Suddenly, a fragrant breeze blew in from outside the car. I closed my eyes. It turned out that a brand new life could be so wonderful.